All right, hey guys, we're here with Honeyman today, who's a platinum Lee Sin main. Do you want to go ahead and introduce yourself, Honeyman?
Sure, yeah. So I am on this account. I am Plat 4. However, I'm a diamond support main, so I'm off rolling on jungle, trying to get some games in. Obviously, yeah, Lee Sin main. Um, I've been trying to take a dive into REK'SAI, try to put the games into her and learn her. She's pretty similar, so I've been trying to diversify a little bit. I think my early games are okay, but I kind of flounder in the mid to late game and don't really know how to close out the games that I get leads in. So that's why I asked for your help.
All right, great. That's why I'm here. So that's pretty interesting to be a support main and have jungle as your secondary, but like not playing the champs I expect, like basically support champs like Nunu, Trundle, seeing like carry junglers. That's really impressive.
Well, thank you. There's kind of a reason for that. I feel like my mechanics, because I play support, are pretty lacking. So I want to diversify and play more carry oriented champions to try and make myself better at the game.
It's pretty cool. The only thing I don't really like from what I'm seeing is team at REK'SAI in the game we're about to do. So you want to explain that?
Sure. Yeah, that was actually so. Like I said, I was trying to learn REK'SAI, so I didn't really look into any builds or anything. I just kind of dove into it. After doing it, I see why it's not the greatest thing, especially with Wraiths and Krugs, not or sorry, Raptors and Krugs, not being good anymore. It doesn't really make a lot of sense. So I 100% understand that. And my other two REK'SAI games, you can see I kind of went away from that. So
Yeah, that's good because you basically have three AoE spells in REK'SAI, so it's not even a necessity.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so at least in REK'SAI, Elise are top three, I'd say right now that you're playing. Is there another champ you've been trying to learn potentially or want to stay away
Yeah.
from?
I really want to get good at Olaf. I just don't think that my playstyle really fits it because I don't feel comfortable when I'm just straight up brawling somebody, getting low and trying to 2v1 or 1v1. It makes me nervous as a person. So I want to stay away from Olaf, even though I know he's really strong right now. But I think Jarvan is probably my best jungler overall, even though I don't have a lot of games on this account
Yeah,
on him.
1 to 53. All right, makes sense. One thing I also noticed, you get like Mobies almost every game. Is there a reason for that too?
I like to go fast, but I know it's not the optimal choice.
Yeah, I noticed you have Sorcery second, so I feel like that's probably why you feel like you're lacking out on one of those Hunter or something, or just
Sure.
there's also most Leasons go CDR runes and boots, but I mean,
Uh, I actually, just because I've been seeing it on other junglers, I've been going sorcery into the Nimbus Cloak just to try it out on Lee Sin. It's not something that I particularly like, but I've just been trying out the different build on it. So you can see I've been going lethality most games too, even though
yeah, it's
it's not.
interesting. I think Lethality got. Do you know if the patch is live? 9.24b.
I, I don't believe it is, but I know that it's getting like a slight buff, right? Like
Yeah,
580
580
on
on
the
both, I believe.
yeah. So
Anyways, got my notepad open. Let's go into this game. So you picked this game. Is the reason you picked this game?
yeah, so it's kind of started out really messy by my team. You'll see. It
All right.
didn't start out really good. I thought that I had some decent decision making early to get us back, but I really didn't push my lead as fast and as hard as I could have, and I want to know how to do that because I really do pretty often get those early leads.
Mm-hmm. All right, we'll see. Well, is there a specific lane you want to target this game, or you just weren't able to
So
actually close out the game?
so we just weren't really. Well, I mean, we closed it out relatively quickly. I think it was only a 22-minute game, but I still think that I could have played it better to end it even faster than that. My biggest concern in like looking at the teams, obviously with the cheese that Kled and Lee Sin are doing, you can
Oh
pretty much
wow.
guarantee their duo. So, I pretty much knew that the Lee Sin and or Kled, whoever was going to be top, I knew that they were going to be focusing the top side. So I knew Rise was going to kind of get screwed. So my focus was going to be to counter that and go mid and bot most of the time.
All right, so I've heard of the strat. Basically, you try to like just have both quadrants of the map to your own for both junglers, but obviously one lane's gonna be
Exactly.
less, strong because they don't have an extra summon or spell that junglers don't have. So
Right.
typically, if you can get a ward out on one quadrant or the first buff on enemy team, that's good. But
Right.
obviously, it's a bit hard because both champs are pretty strong level one, and your champ's in the best. So
And that was actually what I figured. I figured they'd go to the side that I wasn't going to go to, my blue side. So Rise dying here is actually my fault. I asked him to go there to watch it because I figured that's where they'd go. But that's also why I didn't go ward near their Raptors. Generally, every game, except when I'm on Lee Sin and I need my ward, I go and ward their Raptors and then recall and do the thing that you do where you swap the trinket.
Right. So what I'd like to see from you is potentially just coordinate your bot lane and come ward their blue. Because, I mean, if Kled starts here, he gets no leash. If Lee starts here, he gets no leash. So I don't really know what they're gonna do. I mean, I've heard about this. I haven't really seen it, so I'm not really that familiar. But I think the wisest thing you do is go ward this. And if you see their bot lane, you don't have to be that afraid because there are no two people are top side.
Sure. That makes a lot of sense. So obviously you see Rise dies there. He kept his sums, which I think ends up being a net positive. But then they do this.
Oh, he dies again. Wow.
Yeah. And not just him either.
2-0 Lee Sin. Well, I guess I have no clue how why they're. I guess they're not going for double buffs. Okay. Well, typically what I heard is you just try to take both quadrants. So.
That's what I expected. So you'll see my movements. Like I obviously know because of the ward that they started on my blue. So I immediately go straight to his bot side jungle.
No, this is definitely the right play for you to make, but your bot lane is cheesed.
Yeah. So this is why I chose this game, because I feel like we did a good job coming back here.
All right. So one thing you're not doing mechanically right is when you on bro knock something like an auto Q. You typically do that more early game because you get extra DPS. You don't have that much attack speed. So
okay.
Mid to late game is when you just Q auto when it's mid-air. But early game you can auto Q after the bro sit right there. Auto Q
to get the reset.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
So also I feel like you can also kit this a bit more, and
I cancel autos. Yeah, it's not great.
One thing you can do is if your next objective is to get Gromp for level 3, right? You can just unburrow Q this or burrow Q this, and then it walks to you. It won't hit you yet, obviously. So just finish this, and then the Gromp will be here. So you have to walk less distance and save time basically, because now you're just walking towards it, right?
Right. So that's seconds that are wasted. Right.
That's a small micro thing, but as a jungler, every second counts, especially this season where like you fall so behind.
Right. One thing that I will point out too is we did see Lee Sin in the top lane there with Rise, so I know that I can safely go for these wolves, which is why I do that.
Yeah, sure. Well, both lanes are pushed in, but
I do ward it just in case, because I wasn't sure if Yasuo was going to collapse or not.
Gotcha. So Crap spawns in 20. Both lanes are pretty gankable. I think LeBlanc lanes are really good for setup, and REK'SAI has pretty strong early game ganks.
And that's exactly my thought process too.
Alright, good. So when you're walking this lane, you should bear in mind that Lee Sin's potentially still topside. And do you have it like you're not playing duo with the LeBlanc, right?
No, I'm not duo with anybody.
Okay, so obviously this is a live review. I can't see your camera management. And her W cooldown early game is pretty long. It's 18 seconds. So if she uses it for a trade, there's odds that it's still not up. So if you're walking this lane, it's based off the fact that you know her W is most likely up with the timing of your pathing towards mid.
Yeah, I saw her use her EW to trade. I think it was about 10 to 12 seconds ago, so I knew it was going to be up relatively soon.
Alright, gotcha. Nice, you kept your flash too. So see, same concept, just like I know you want to maximize your DPS, but you're actually not doing that. Just, it's probably the first tip I can give you.
So don't queue right away.
Yeah, pretty much just auto queue, basically.
Okay. Then obviously Lee Sin walks over my ward. I missed the queue on that.
Yeah, it's pretty low too.
Which is strange. Lee Sin shouldn't be that low in the jungle, but yeah.
Yeah. So you do crab. Alright. We have water walking. Okay, let's watch this again. So this is another thing I see a lot of junglers do wrong. You do crab, and you look for gank top. So when you're ganking top, you want to look at the positioning of both top laners, right? collects in the middle of the lane, rises towards the tower. So when you're walking towards top, if this is warded, you'll get like the moment you get spotted is the moment you want to have the most distance basically acquired. So
Sure.
you'd be walking this line instead of this line, because if he starts walking this way, when he sees you, whether or not it's warded, you still have extra turret or extra terrain granted before his turret. So you're just closer to him in general.
And his position makes it easier to like cut him off if I'm on that side as well.
Exactly.
Since he's that makes sense.
So see how you're like hugging this wall? You should be hugging this wall, this whole line.
That makes a lot of sense because he's so far up.
Right. So see how you're like this instead of like this, both lines. So because I'm pretty sure you would have kept flash most likely. He didn't have a ward, but even if he did, it would have been obviously just better overall. But I mean, you get the kill, so it's fine. Flash or flash. Alright, top has no TP. Your blue side's still up. Top's about to crash. So, personally, if I was you, I'd push this wave in with him, because it's a cannon wave.
Yeah. That was, I looking at it the way that it was now, I don't know why I did, because that's pretty standard. I actually don't even know if I get my bot or my top side here, because looking at the game state now, what I think should have happened is I should have helped him push, get my blue side, and then recall, right? Like,
right.
That's okay.
I mean, as a cannon wave, Ryze can't really push this hard early game. So another thing is in the micro things. Instead of walking here to Q, your pre-seeker, just walk here and throw your Q, and I'll walk towards you. So
okay.
More seconds again. Just it's not something you should focus on when you're like in the lower elos. I know you're a diamond player and as a support main, but if you can save seconds as a jungler, just trust me, every second counts. So it's probably like shaving off seconds as a jungler is one of the most important things you can do. Even as a higher elo player, like challenger level junglers, it's the most important thing in my opinion. So this stage, I hope you reset. Nope, no reset.
I knew I either didn't reset or I didn't get my top side at all, but I should have reset because I have how much gold right now? I can't.
1600.
Yeah.
So not only do you have like better combat stats, you have the better smite, right? You'll be stronger in 1v1s or 2v2s or in ganking. So I think you get blue smite this game, so maybe more of a guarantee for a kill.
I think the only thing that I was thinking was I knew that Yasuo didn't have flash and he was pushed up. I think that's the only justification I have, but I know it's not the correct play.
Right. So this game is over here if Yasuo's not stupid and walks bot side, because this guy has no mana, this guy has a shield, and he's shocked, and this guy's Conquer. So the game pretty much ends here. Well, it doesn't end, but you guys don't get this kill most likely.
Right, this doesn't work out as it does. Yeah.
Yasuo walks towards you instead of their jungler. I see this a lot, but I mean, what can you do? It's just
low elo.
Yeah, it was punishing the enemy team rather than making a good play, them for being bad. Anyways, by the team mat, which we both went over, buy that ever again, hopefully.
Yeah, no, it was not a good call. I should have got blue smite, and well, I had what, like after that kill, I think I had like 1900 gold, so I would have got blue smite boots and 2 longswords probably.
Yeah, like have you tried the Doran's Blade build?
Yeah, no, I haven't. I get it. I understand why it's strong. I just don't know when to utilize it. Like, when do I buy that over blue smite, or not blue smite, but long swords and whatnot? Like, when in the game is it too late? I don't really get that aspect of it, I guess.
All right. Well, let's see how much time you just spent on these level 1 Krugs. So it's your XP bar, right?
Mm-hmm.
This is why I say Krugs are the worst camp. I mean, they are level 1, but you just basically spent 20 seconds on your Krugs for a whopping, is that like 20? That's not even 20. I think that's like 18% XP of a level. So This is why I never recommend doing Krugs. There are more important objectives on the map like Scuttlecraft that take basically no time at all because you have a CC ability with your own burrow. and
Right.
also for the extra vision, so you can just deny a dragon or something, and have better river control and fighting if something happens. Also, you have the runes for, water
Fighting
walking.
in the river.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So.
I thought that the Scuttle was down because Lee Sin came from the bot side jungle during the Yasuo gank while Scuttle was up.
Right.
But still, I understand yeah.
When you're 3-0 jungler, it's like most likely the crab is yours. You decide when to get crab. And if you go top side, it's when Lee Sin has priority on crab. So him going for crab should never happen. And again, you have the tools to catch up. Then you have the boots, you have Nimbus Cloak, and you have water walking. So
Right.
it's your crab. Just don't prioritize your krugs or crabs. What I'm trying to say. Basically, I've made a table of what you should prioritize. I think I basically implied in my last video. I don't know if you watched it, but
I did actually, yeah. This was before that video came out, I think, by the way.
that's good. So basically, Krugs are last on your bucket list. You don't care about Krugs, unless you have nothing else to do. You're close to level, or you have an item off of it. Because the golden isn't the worst, but yeah.
Okay, I wait for him to overcommit here.
Yes, again, this game should never work, right? Lee saw you, and like he's hugging your side, which should never happen. So
yeah.
it's good for you to punish someone really terrible, but I mean, this doesn't always happen. Okay, what I'd like to see you do is grab level 6 and do Drake. Or play first Gromp maybe after getting 6. Let's see what you do.
I actually don't remember, so.
I mean, you want Tiamat, so odds are you're just gonna look for farming early game, I would assume. Also, you see these auto attacks? Like, something I noticed a lot of people do as well. Like, basically there's different AoE abilities you have as a jungler. You have your talisman, you have your jungle item, which is basically a component after getting talisman, and then if you have Cinder Hulk or AoE spells. So with Tiamat, you just want to auto the big one, and I see a lot of people that play Olaf do this as well. You don't want to auto the small ones. When you use your axe on the basically all of them, and then use your autos on the big one, just to save more time.
Sure.
So that'll be another way for you to save extra seconds.
That makes sense.
So I understand you like lose more HP basically, but when you're this strong, you gotta really get Tiamat. Yeah, I mean the Raptors are lower level too. I think they were, yeah.
They were level 1. I think I hadn't taken them yet.
Yeah, so you like barely any damage to it at all. Did you assume Lee was top side, or just thought?
I did not know.
All right.
Okay, obviously they mechanically misplay this. This is on them.
Yeah, I want to watch this again. So you walk up river.
I do not know that he's there.
So yeah, this is why like basically your W is kind of like a defensive tool as well, because when you're W'd is when you can use your E more efficiently. Because if you get CC'd or something, you can't use it ASAP. So once you're unburrowed, is basically you're committing to this play, and based off your tremor sense, you saw him walking towards you. So I mean,
why unburrow for the ward?
Right, so you're probably still in a better, so you're stronger than them, but again, this is just them being bad. If you're like even with enemy team, you can't make any early game mistakes against Lee Sin, because he's basically the king of 2v2s and such.
Right.
So, I mean, he misses the Q too, like.
Yeah. Like Lee hits his, but then he wastes it before I burrow, so it doesn't matter.
So just try to put yourself as your best position. Don't give the enemy team handicaps or advantages.
Right.
Okay, I'll watch that again. No flash, no smite. Lee misses Q, which is like half his damage. You go on Kled. Okay, I don't know why you're like so afraid, because you should know like Lee has no spells, he's not 6. This Q isn't like the shortest cooldown in early game, right? So I feel like you had definitely a lot of opportunity to get your auto Q E off. Well, basically your Q auto, because you already Q'd, right? So, and then get your E off, so your execute R does more damage basically. I mean, it works out, but most likely because LeBlanc was here.
Yeah. LeBlanc did actually a great job roaming almost all this whole game. So
he kind of capped his lane. That's what happens when you enable a lane. But I mean, this guy's just something else.
See, I don't. At this point right here, I actually have a question, if you don't mind. So
Yeah.
obviously, my blue and my entire blue side is up. Like, I commit on the kill on Yasuo, who's 0-3, who's not worth a ton. Should I have just cleared my top side in this situation?
I honestly would have just done Rift after top side kills, because I don't know why you're not prioritizing dragons. Like I said, dragons are even better than last season, and they're already decent last season. So
Right.
what I do is, if you're winning top side so much or this hard, just grab these camps if you can. Grab Rift and try to reset. And like every time you reset getting Rift or something, just play for the dragons or bot side. Try to get some plates or something, and then just try to go for the second Rift and the Drakes whenever you can. Because you already won mid. Top is, I guess, winning as well. And it's just like these objectives are left on the map where Lee can just go for one. Cross map if he knows your bot side or something, or doing Drake, right?
Sure, I guess that's where one of my biggest problems as a jungler is like when I get a lead like this. Obviously, I'm super far ahead. I feel guilty leaving my camps up like that. Like, I don't know if it's I don't know if it's more efficient to go for continue to try and push that lead and go for ganks, or farm in that situation, I guess.
Right. I mean, kills are always nice. You get a lot of gold XP, but at a certain point, it's kind of overkill when you're killing the same person over and over. That's just gonna, he's probably still gonna be useful against like his core of 100% crit with his 2 items. So I feel like it's just better to get the other stuff on the map that basically enables the rest of your teammates without having to set Yasuo more behind.
Sure.
So honestly, I would have liked to see you do Drake a bit earlier potentially. What are you doing? 2k gold. Okay. I guess you want to try to finish your warrior.
I believe that's my thought process, because I still have just Hunter's Machete.
Yes, like I said, once you do a cross-map play, that means free reign on enemy jungler, unless you have like a global mid or a global support or something, right? So Lee smart, he goes top side. Unfortunately, I guess nothing happens, or oh, he misplayed. Okay. You come top side. Should be a kill. I mean, these plays are working really well for you, but it's like them being bad and then LeBlanc always having priority and coming with you, right? So it's like, I'm not really a fan of being on the map with 2k gold. But I mean, if this play does arise where they just try to tower dive that guy and they misplay, I mean, go for it, obviously.
Right.
2400, what are we doing here? Trash talking in all chat too. Nice.
You have to, man. Lee Sin's already tilted. You have to push that.
I mean, seeing this is really interesting, but
well, they did, because I've seen exactly what you've seen as well. I've seen them try to just take over the entire top quadrant of the map, but they didn't do that. So I don't know why they tried this.
Yeah. Anyways, so far so good. You're 7-0, but I think we are prioritizing kills a bit too much. Especially like water walking is so good, not only for the sense of getting to lanes faster, fighting in the river, but you get extra objective damage as well on the Rift and Dragon and Baron, basically.
Right.
So it makes you do the faster than the basically the old precision you turn secondary on REK'SAI. I'm also a fan of this variation. I've been running it some of my games, but I'd say it's more situational. But I think in Lori Liz, this is the best way to play REK'SAI with Sorcery secondary.
Okay. I've actually been really enjoying Nimbus Cloak. Like, just the speed you get from Smite has felt so good. And then just
so good defensively.
Obviously taking water walking is just a side benefit of that.
Exactly. So they like basically go super aggro, you're here bottom. I mean, honestly, I think Carrick would have killed them, but like the Kai'Sa. So yeah. I feel like when you saw Lee bot and your bot lane winning basically 2v3, I think you should just pressure this side of the map. Rift is like super strong right now, it's actually insane. Second Rift basically one-shots towers, so I mean these plates are nice, but
I haven't been prioritizing Rift in any of my games.
That's probably why you've had issues closing out games. Honestly, been watching like me and TF play duo, but I basically most of the time play topside, grab second Rift, we just get inhibited like 15 minutes. Or like, well, 1 second Rift spawns basically. So try to go for Rift as early as you can, especially for these runes, where you're really strong early game and really slippery.
Do you think that that also means, I mean, obviously this doesn't necessarily coincide with each other, but does that mean that I should be focusing topside more early as well? Like, not just, I mean, obviously this game I focus topside a lot, but just in general, should I prioritize top lane over bot lane?
As a jungler, you can't be everywhere on the map, right? There's only so much you can do, and it's not like enemy jungler is gonna be a bot every game like this game. So I'd say like try to rinse and repeat. If Dragon's up, go make a play bot side, get pressure there or mid lane or something, get Drake, reset, then 1 second rift is spawning, or you get your top side camps, the best camps in the game right now, your blue side, if you're on blue side obviously, and then you just like go pressure top, go pressure mid again, go for this rift barrel, get some deep vision, deny vision, buy pink ward for a rift, buy pink ward for a dragon, etc. So nowadays it just, I mean, in higher elo it's harder to have like perfect vision, but in this elo you have no issue. Just buy 1 pink, place it on Drake, reset, and the next 5 minutes or whenever rift or dragon spawns again, get another pink.
Sure.
You don't have to like actually play for vision, just play for vision denial on the objective. Because it supports basically never check objectives or vision on objectives of this elo.
To clear it, yeah, that makes sense.
Right.
What should my tunnel use be early game? Because I know later game, obviously it doesn't really matter with the lower cooldown, but should I be prioritizing my tunnels for ganking or for traversing my jungle?
If you're not gonna do like anything on the map, I guess typically you see like tunnels like here, but what I do is I just use them at base, which is, I mean, somewhat what you've been doing. Because the way I see it is if I leave my base earlier is when I can make the next proactive play on the map where I want to be. Whereas like this is more situational if I want to go from like cross map, bot side to top side. So what I like doing is just like this. Leave your tunnels through here from the base.
Okay.
So I wrote something. Okay. So this is how I see it. Early to mid game, which one to prioritize is Dragon's best, Rift. Obviously Rift 2 spawns after Rift 1, so if no objectives are up, the best stuff on the map are, I would say red buff, blue buff, Gromp. So if you're not ganking or going for an objective, these are the camps you should be focusing on in this order.
Okay.
And yeah, so
that's actually that clears up another one of my questions, because I didn't know whether it was better to reset the timer on blue buff or to reset the timer on Gromp, like on the third clear.
What do you mean by that? Third clear?
So obviously, like, on like the third clear around like now in the game, would it be better to clear your blue buff, or generally in higher elos you trade the blue buff to the mid laner anyway, so it doesn't matter. But would it be better to reset the timer on the Gromp to get it to spawn faster, or to take blue buff?
Yeah, 100%. Just do your Gromp first, then toss blue. Or if you're going to take it, I'd say do Gromp, then blue. Look for a play, and by the time you're done, and go back to your jungle if you're like 60%, 40%, just do Gromp as well.
Okay.
That's like one of the sole ways I've had of getting leads. Let's say I full clear at level 4 as a jungler, and I started blue side, right? By the time I've done my play and, you know, scuttle fights have happened, maybe got a kill or a flash, my blue side's up again, I just do that, reset. And while I'm resetting, you know, walking all the way back to my bot side or making a play mid or somewhere else, these camps are respawning, and that's when I can build a lead for myself, because obviously this is the best source of XP right now that aren't buffs or objectives and such.
That makes sense.
Also bear in mind, you know, now that Dragon is 25 gold, Rift actually is 100 gold, and I feel like it's a lot easier to do.
Okay.
So if you need gold as well, Rift is always a bonus as well. Okay, so you see also, I mean, see, once now that you have your blue spine and your Nimbus cloak, I mean, everything is, you can just tunnel whenever. But early game, like you basically brought up forward earlier, you don't really have to tunnel. Like typically, if you can just walk up to someone, like early game when you don't have your boots and your blue smite, you just walk up behind Clyde or something with the way I told you to, knock him up, and then by the time your combo's over, your W's back up, and you just E again, and potentially you don't have to flash. So right now you can just E freely, and yeah, you're just sticky as hell.
Yeah, yeah. So also just not even close to ahead.
Megatron Greaves, nice. With Sen Rush. Okay, so here's a mistake again. Like at this stage, you want to check their bot side camps, put some pressure. I mean, you haven't bought any pinks, but the reason you want to do this is this isn't as valuable as like potentially checking this or getting a playoff here. And Dragon's also spawning, so it's better just set up for this side rather than this side.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. So in my head, I was, you know, thinking Dragon's coming up. Clear my Krugs, go to Dragon. That's where my head was, but that makes a ton of sense since bot lane's pushed up and Their jungler is clearly topside. I could have
Right.
easily.
Remember, if you can take their gromp, their jungler's gonna fall even more behind. Because now it's only
Right.
down 2 levels and you're 10 now. I feel like if you can get these camps off the map, he'll fall even more behind. Okay, so right now, nothing's really happened on the map. I feel like you should be checking these camps, and then push out bot when the next wave crashes by the time you're done checking the camps or doing them. Because now the timers are 2 minutes, right? Camps are always up, so there we go. A bit slow, but that's okay. Because REK'SAI isn't much of a siege, it doesn't really offer much unless you're full out engaging, diving, or something. So it's like, if there's nothing for you to do, by the time you're there to this fight, like Tarek has ult and everything, so they can probably buy time for you. See right now? See this wave in?
Just push that in. See, yeah, I think Tarek dying distracted me because yeah, it would have been easy, really easy.
Right. So this tower is gone. There's 2 people top, and they're pretty low. Tarek tried to 1v2 tower die for some reason. I mean, it's whatever. Just go push out bot, go for the crab reset. You have like 2k gold. We have 3k gold. Jesus. So all this XP is basically being wasted. So
okay, that makes sense.
as a jungler, if you can have like free waves, it's just great. So. So this will help you a lot, basically, just getting pressure without dying. Like, someone's forced to go bot. I mean, this wasn't even pushed in, but this guy having to respond to a wave here is better than having to respond to a wave here, because there's more time you're buying for your team, because he has to push out an extra wave. And that extra, like, power play time you have is where you can make for a play for, like, tier 1 top, or a play in their jungle or something, right?
Right, and not that every game's going to end up this way where I'm this far ahead, but since I am this far ahead, they can't really send 1-2 respond, because I could just kill Yasuo in this situation. I mean, yes, I'd be at his turret, but I could still just kill him.
Exactly. So you know your Prey Seeker also gives you like 25 Fury, right?
Yes.
So if he's like face checking you, like he has no vision here on ping, just try to combo it, just for the extra potential DPS you might miss out on. Small micro things. Yeah, we got 3.4k gold. Shit talking all chat, nice. This guy took my lead. True. This is still first riff, right?
Yeah.
Wow. That's interesting. 4k gold on the map. Jesus Christ. Now it's like, honestly, you're not even that much ahead of Lee. If you look at your gold and Lee's gold spend, he's basically stronger than you right now. You see that?
Right.
Take off your 3.4k from 8.2k. You're basically same gold. I mean, your champion counters his. He has Mobies, you have some armor, but... Oh, there it is. That time you counted it. Okay, good. Because look how little damage you're right now.
Yeah, I kind of end this.
Ooh. Oh, now good Tron Yasuo. 1k gold to the worst champion, get 1k gold too. So, I mean, when you're this ahead and you're saying you're having issues closing out games, I know a lot of people say this to me, and it's like, you have your answer right here. They made the game so much easier for you to close out now that they gave you 2 Rift Heralds. And I think on second Rift you can get like basically a inhib tower from nothing.
Sure, that makes a lot of sense.
But don't get me wrong, if you basically shopped and had your 4k gold spend, you probably would have killed them all, but... Yeah, just make sure to grab Rift. If Dragon's not up, if your topside camps are taken, prioritize this when you have pressure. You can also like pressure lane before you do it, so it's even more guaranteed, but... I like to see you buy some pink wards. When you play these control junglers...
On Lee Sin, I probably buy way too many pink wards, but I don't use them for offensive vision or even defensive vision. I just use them for my ward hop, which isn't good.
Gotcha. So right now you have like 400 gold, and it's like 17 minutes at this stage. Like refill doesn't do that much for you. Just sell your refillable. I don't know what item you're going next. You don't have a cleaver yet, you don't have a phage, you don't have a Strax. So I'd probably buy a recrystal, sell this, buy 2 pinks, and then try to play for this side.
Sure.
Before dragon spawns, so sorry. Yeah, another fight happens bottom. I think you should take in the tunnel here, but it's fine. Yeah, so like top has pressure, mid has pressure, their whole team's bottom. It's like our Raptors worth more than Rift Herald. Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess Senna left, but I mean, your answer's here. You win early game this hard, Rift Herald's your best friend. But again, bear in mind, if both our objectives are up and you go for Drake, if enemy junglers get intelligent, they'll go for the top side objective. So try to get your teammates to like ward it or something, or just be on guard. Yeah, I'm not really a fan of crowd clear at all.
And this is the point in basically every game where it's just like I have no idea what to do. And this isn't even just true for my jungle games. This is true for my support games as well. Even in Diamond, I just kind of generally follow people around at this point.
All right, so you grab Rift, tell your team to group mid, drop Rift mid, go bot and solo push it. If you're this strong, you can basically 1v2, 1v1 easily. And then once you push to the tower, take a look at mid, see what's happening there. If they need you, if so, rotate. If not, keep going for the tower. Because again, you don't offer that much as REK'SAI on sieges. So it's just better for you to put some split map pressure or side lane pressure.
Sure, that makes a lot of sense.
Because I mean, this objective is disgusting right now. I took smite by accident.
I don't believe that since he started with the machete, but you know.
Alright, so I mean your mechanics are good. It looks like you know what you're doing, but it's like these things should be done by laners, but at this elo they're never like I would cry for in higher elo you never get side lanes like this because typically your team is 1-3-1ing or 1-4ing or something like that. So it's like
that are just completely open like that, right?
Right. So it's either like LeBlanc or Ryze should be at this wave. Ryze is top, LeBlanc should be bot, but it's like if they're not doing it, might as well get the XP and gold yourself, right? Because Dragon spawns in 20 seconds, might as well just push out bot and then go. So I think you're either typing or...
Yeah, I'm typing. I'm waiting for Dragon and typing.
Gotcha. Also, your Q is an auto attack reset, so is your E. Just in case you forgot to build up your Fury.
Which I know, I just don't take advantage of, I guess.
Alright,
like I know that it is. I just in the game I'm thinking about other things, which is another issue. I'm not always 100% invested in all my games, and at this point I was kind of on autopilot. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, I understand. What ping do you play on since you play Lee Sin?
I play on 80 ping.
Wow, that's actually impressive. 80 ping Lee Sin. I would never play Lee on 80 ping.
I am not a good Lee Sin. I just happen to win games on him.
Gotcha. So, like, look what you're doing right now. Do you even know what you're doing? Because I don't know what you're doing at all.
Yeah, no, I
You took Drake. Mid's pushed in. You ran all the way top to check their Krugs when this is pushed in and then this is pushed in. The perfect play is just go here, push out bot, check their Gromp. If you have wards or want to clear their vision, you can do that. But again, they don't really ward at the CeeLo. But also, this game's most likely an open, but it's like you just want to get the habit of playing properly
And that's exactly what it is at this point. Like I said, well, I know Senna's gone at this point. And it's basically over. So I'm not, but I 100% understand what you're saying. You don't want to play poorly just because they are.
Right. You just want to stay as in form as possible. I mean, looking for picks here is good, but it's like when you're looking for these picks, it's typically when you're pushing out lanes and have actual pressure that's being generated from killing someone. Because if you get this kill, it's like, oh, I gotta run all the way top, push this, and by the time I do that, next wave's here, and then Kai'Sa's back up.
Right. I didn't even get an assist.
Because this power play offers you nothing. You're probably not going to be able to do Baron. If Senna's up, I mean, this is like obviously a different game where people are these people.
People are interesting.
Yeah. Wow. So yeah, like I said, your mechanics aren't bad. You know how to gank. Just remember the linear thing I told you about where the person is in lane. But your closing out games, like you said, is definitely your biggest issue, and knowing when to recall with this much gold every time.
Yeah.
I would prioritize pushing out this lane rather than these Krugs. I mean, at this point, you should know that.
gonna put a big X on my screen where the Krugs are.
Great. Like I said, if you have nothing else to do, if you're close to a level, if you need some gold, it's fine. But it's by far the worst camp. The worst XP per time spent. XP per second or something.
Right. I think in the next, they failed the surrender mode, but I think we close it out in the next like minute or so.
Gotcha.
Just by AFK pushing mid.
If you guys got Rift, this game would have ended faster, by the way. It's basically another champion.
And that's exactly why I wanted to watch this game, just to see what. And I haven't watched this replay since playing it. I think it was a few days ago. So I didn't actually know what my decisions were or anything like that. So it helps. It helps having your opinion. I appreciate that.
That's good. But you gotta remember, it's not like if your lanes aren't pushed in. Let's say your lanes are losing, it becomes that much harder. If the enemy team is actually intelligent and wants to like deny you to getting objectives for free, if your bot lane's losing, your top lane's losing really hard, there's more chances that there's like vision while you're walking towards objective. But this game, like you got your lanes ahead, you enabled them, and then you basically got free reign on every objective, but you really didn't take the more important ones basically.
Right.
So screw Krugs, get Rift Herald, get Dragon.
I used to jungle a lot when Krugs mattered more. Okay, that's
exactly. I understand. Basically, new Krugs are old Gromp, and new Gromp is old Krugs. So.
Okay, that makes sense.
There you go.
And that's the game.
Yeah, pretty good game. Again, build was bad, recall timers were bad, but I don't even know why you rushed the GA, but I mean, worked out. So for the most part, these were like a lot of small micro things, but these are things you'll develop and establish on your own. But.
Right. I think in total, like I've played maybe 15, 20 games of REK'SAI. So I there's definitely like micro things that I can work on in terms of like champion knowledge, but the macro stuff is where I feel like my biggest flaws actually show themselves.
Yeah, so like I said, the most important thing, pushing out lanes before fights, objectives. Mid prio is really good to get, but again, if you're playing a melee champ like REK'SAI, and if they're mages mid lane or their ADC, it's a bit harder to push them out. But at this elo, you'll have no issues getting mid prio, getting side lane prio before objectives or looking for picks like you were doing that game. So just know that you have the right timing to do that. And if a fight is already won, like that's again, Lee Sin should bot. Your team was basically winning 2v3, your bot lane was. Just go for the Rift Herald instead of like the plate and a half you got basically. Because not only you get more gold from Rift, you get more map pressure with the actual objective, and the XP isn't the worst either, so.
Sure.
Yeah, we still have, was this Patreon or website?
This is website.
Okay, so you still got like half an hour.
Do you mind doing another VOD review?
Sure, pick a game.
I didn't really watch any. You can pick a random one if you want.
Yeah, let's pick a loss.
Sure.
I'm interested in seeing this one.
I think this is kind of a good example of what happens when I get a lead, because I had a pretty big lead in this particular game, and then don't push the advantages in the ways that you were telling me to. So
you think it's gonna be repetitive and it's not worth it, or
possibly it's just this is kind of like the flip side of it, because we get a huge advantage but then we throw it away.
All right, we'll see. We'll skip through it then a tiny bit.
Sure.
Okay, so your first mistake was not banning Aphelios. That champ is not balanced.
He's on my team. Oh no, he's not on my team. Oops, rip.
Yeah. Drop your, wow, you worded blue. That's really good.
So yeah, see, I told you I tried to do that.
It's a bit hard on REK'SAI, especially if teammates aren't coming, but that's really a good start. So now you know he either thought bot quadrant or something weird like Raptors or Wolves potentially.
So my thought process in this game, because the Renekton and Vlad ended up swapping. So not the Renekton and Vlad, the Darius and Vlad ended up swapping. So Vlad went mid when he was supposed to be top. So my thought process is get my top side, get level 3, and gank bot as fast as possible. But then this happens. So
Guess we'll see.
my bot dies.
Damn. Bot dies. Now we're back to our jungle. Okay, well, here's how I see it. Right now, the best way to jungle is start off with blue every game. Even if you're playing REK'SAI, I think gives you more options.
Okay.
because if you want the level 3 from red side, you got to do these 2 camps and take a bit longer and to do more damage. So I think it's just overall better to start blue, because once you finish these 3 camps is when you hit level 3, and they're all like close proximity and faster to do. So
Gotcha.
you don't need to be level 3 as REK'SAI to gank. Obviously, if you go for a gank with blue buff, you might get your red buff taken from Poppy or something, but yeah, definitely look into starting blue pretty much 90% of your games, I'd say. Because if you're starting red, it's basically just level 3 gank top or level 3 mid through this entrance, Raptor entrance.
Okay. Obviously, we see Poppy mid in this particular.
Right. And he's walking towards Krug, or
and he's
fucking
almost dead.
crap.
Yeah.
Right. Is that Hex Flash or Flash? He has Hex Flash.
I didn't even realize that.
Interesting.
Right, so I know that he's still heading that way. He doesn't know at this point yet that I've started. I don't think I meant to do that. I think I was auto attack clicking.
Yeah.
Because I knew that he was coming, but it didn't matter.
Again, remember, if you like you in burrow, you basically like what your defenses, your defensiveness.
Yeah, I was auto moving and hit the scuttle and unburrowed.
Oh my! Did you really? Wait a second.
Yeah, fuck them, dude. Fuck my team. Oh, sorry.
I'm sorry. I already swore to. So okay, this is a 4 versus 3. And you don't get a level off this, you don't get much, except you can smite it for HP if you have to, but it's like...
My idea originally was actually to cut off the Yasuo, to make sure Yasuo couldn't get in and try to unburrow on him if he tried to E me. But then I, obviously committed on the crab here.
Yeah, typically you want to go on the person your team is focusing, unless you're like a really useless champ late game, like Olaf or something, run at them, kill time with your J or stopwatch. So this is early game. Early game is really important in terms of focusing on the right person, because everyone's so squishy and weak. So right. You just want to get to this fight ASAP, especially as REK'SAI with your teammates tanking for you. I mean, you know, she can just W onto him, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Jesus Christ, this could have been a lot worse. So focus the right targets, basically. Obviously, you should know that. I mean, if you're going to do crab, it's to get level 4 if you really need it, or just the HP, which you can just smite and go for it later. So early game, the targets should prioritize are most likely Conqueror champ, which you have 1 melee, and just basically the highest damage dealing champ. If you have something like a Nunu, you want to ignore the Nunu, right? Nunu jungle.
Of course, yeah.
If you have Nautilus support, you want to ignore Nautilus, go for their ADC, go for their mid side. I mean, Nautilus can basically do as much damage as carries early game, but yeah, he's not that much of a threat in terms of skirmishes. His teammates are.
Yeah. Just so you know, at this particular time, I thought Poppy would have gotten top scuttle, so I didn't immediately go for that. But then I see her mid, obviously. So.
Right. Raptor resets. So you see Poppy right away. We should be hugging this, again, as much turn as possible, getting there as fast as possible. I guess you didn't see her that early, because you should be like here right now.
Right.
But now you're here instead. So I think it... Yeah, you're a bit too far, but yeah, flash, probably slow kill. Yeah, wave's frozen.
I see what you're saying, though. I could have saved flash there if I came in sooner.
So either you shave seconds from not having Raptor reset, or just the terrain hogging. So here I'd like to see you push out mid with them. Oh, man.
Because it's frozen, yeah.
Yeah, and VOD can't push that fast early. He's not even pushing it, so... You go top side with your 2k gold, I'm assuming. Yep.
2.5k.
Smite it, great. At this stage, if you're going to stay on the map, it's basically just get your warrior, so... On mid again. Got the tunnel. That should be another kill.
And obviously I was going to recall there, but he all in top, or a mid, so...
Tunnel, I got you. Alright, now you have to push mid, right? I guess this is an issue. We should write down. So let's see. You got your warrior. Nope, we're gonna get duels. Alright. Meanwhile, mid is struggling to push this wave in, which apparently too slow because it's a cannon wave. And now his wave's gonna be super awkward because you opted not to push with him. Alright. You did this last game too, but I mean that game you kind of popped off. But
Right.
have you ever?
Go ahead.
Have you ever watched Dom stream?
Yeah, I not for learning, mostly for the.
He will tax any wave no matter what. So if you're doing this much and getting kills, you might as well just tax it too.
I guess I've kind of got a little bit of a brain block. Not that I'm saying I do 100% agree that it is the correct move. I have a little bit of a brain block because I've had too many people AFK because I pushed their waves.
Right, but you're doing it for a reason because he can't push it in fast enough. If they're not competent enough, this is like what PLAT, like you said, mid PLAT.
Yeah.
If they're not competent enough to understand why you're gonna push with them, just yeah, I don't know what to say. They're not meant to play this game. Play Farmville or something.
Sure.
It's really simple, basic. It's like elementary. Like
right.
you're pushing, deny the wave, and have a reset and push back towards you guys because he can't push it fast enough. And by the time he tries to solo push, it's gonna be frozen in a bad spot. Whereas he also now has a CS lead. Whereas he has 2 deaths versus 0 deaths. So there's a reason for that.
And
Not
then,
right.
basically that's where this is where the game starts to take like a terrible turn. Basically, we just it just goes bad.
Alright, let's see it. So you're on a pink. Still no pink wards, which I mean, I'm telling you, the champions you play, like you said, you buy pinks on Elise and that's great. But you also play Rex on Elise, which these champs are the best at ganking and super strong early in these small skirmish situations, just like going on overextended champs that have no vision of them. So you want to buy some pink wards, and it's not like you're buying double pink wards every bag. Just one pink ward, whether you're playing for objective or trying to get a pressure on the side of the map and then go for Drake or something, you're just increasing your success ratio for these ganks or these counter ganks or something if you are reading the enemy jungler's pathing and such.
Sure.
So yeah, if you're again these champs, you should buy pinks for sure. Go top side, blues up. What?
I didn't see the blue.
Okay. I guess you just went mid.
I didn't see the blue, and I saw Poppy going in.
Yeah, that's definitely the right play. I just too fast. Okay, now you have to do Drake. Let's go. Finally. Here's like I'm already thinking about your next chess move. Okay, you do Drake.
Yeah.
See if bot's gankable, which most likely won't be, because your bot lane sucks. And then go to your bot side, clear your blue camps, reset, go for top side. He'll grab crab or something, whatever. But you can play for Rift Herald, and then while your camps are respawning and dragons respawning, you just path bad bot side. If bot side nothing's up, if there is no timing for ganking top, and then plates will spawn. You look for your plates, etc.
Right.
So you're already thinking about these things before even finishing Drake, which is, again, you're basically playing chess while people are playing checkers, and get advantages like this from people being not as intelligent and, you know, taking the next step forward as a jungler.
Sure, that makes sense.
So again, this is what I mean, like shaving seconds. W, Q this, finish this. By the time it's next to you, save more seconds. Like, oh, well, that was a bit slow, but yeah, tiny bit slower, but it's fine.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Just I can do it earlier. I can pull the grump before the blue is done.
And it won't hit you until it's in actual range, basically.
Right.
1k gold. Okay, please reset or hold mid. Okay, I guess not. We're looking for a gank bot.
Well, I see them overextending.
Yeah.
Here.
They shouldn't do that, but I mean,
yeah.
You spot it, so that's good by you.
I use F keys a lot.
LS fanboy?
Yeah. Yeah.
Gotcha.
They're not F keys for me, but yeah. I don't know why I cleared this ward, but I decided to.
I don't understand, like, your understanding of, like, going to fights is really good and such, but it's like, you're just wandering on the map half the time as well.
No, and I completely agree. It's a huge issue.
Got 1400 gold, looking for plays, and it's like...
And then I end.
Oh no. And that's how you lose the game if you're playing. Oh my god. When you're playing champs like REK'SAI, Lee Sin, you can't afford to make mistakes. I mean, this is luck, right? This won't always happen. And it's like... Your bounties are that much bigger because most of the champs on every team are all scaled. Even this game, I think Poppy outscales REK'SAI. So it's like... Even Poppy getting like a assist bounty is pretty impactful because she also counters you with her W, right? So
right.
When you have 1k gold, please just reset. Like,
okay.
Unless you know this play's happening, like you spotted here, that's really good by you. But it won't
then
always...
immediately after, I should have.
Exactly. There's nothing on the map to do when you have 5 kills worth of gold. So you're giving them free resources to come back to the game when you're not playing the best scaler.
That makes sense.
See, like right now, I guarantee you, even if Crab's down, you just E over the wall, you do Rift in the pit, and no one will even bat an eye. Or you just eat this wave because your mid laner isn't there. I mean, he does have TP, so that's a possibility. But if Crab's gone, it's like you're just showing where you are and letting this lane play more aggressively. And same thing, cross map everywhere. That's like one of your biggest assets as a jungler early game. If you aren't spotted, you just have pressure on the map without being a post 6 Evelyn or something.
Right.
I actually got you. Ooh. No, you got him. Both. So you basically just spawned, died again. None of this was necessary. Just do this. You have top pressure, and it's like you can just tunnel back out. If you tunnel in, your tunnel will be up by the time, you know, potentially someone.
They try
exactly.
To fight, right.
Because now your camps are back up and you're dead. It's like you're not even getting that to your advantage. You're not even getting this because now you're going to the right camp. Sure, bot lane might be gankable. Nope, more time wasted. Your bot's better. So it's like,
yep.
Why are we even here? You know, why have we not done the referral when we're 6 kills at 10 minutes as REK'SAI? Nope. Yeah. Still playing mid.
And then I just waste a ton of time here.
Yeah, I can tell.
Like, yeah, I know Pike's coming. Obviously, he gets interrupted there. But even still, yeah. Just watching this back, I can see how terrible it is.
You're not even getting your true damage off. You weren't max fury there.
No.
So I feel like you spawned, died several times and like got nothing done on the map.
And basically that's the rest of the game, and then they end. So
really,
yeah. Like I think Poppy does end up getting Rift Herald after this play.
That's crazy. Your top's been pushing 1v0 for like 5 minutes, and you didn't opt to go for the Rift. Really, damn, that's crazy.
That makes yeah.
I mean, Drake is up now, so it's not the worst being bot side before it spawns, or during the spawn, so that's fine. But you got so much time to do Rift before the next Drake spawns, or just... I actually died top too. Good to Drake, probably like 1k again. Should clear bot side camps, reset, go for top side. Nope, we go mid instead.
And into the way.
Not just more time waste. Don't tell me you're gonna start Rift now. Where are you going? Also auto keywords. Clear them faster. Oh god. I mean, this is better, obviously, but if you're doing this, it's with the purpose, right?
Yeah. Well, at this point, I knew Poppy. She'd been bot side for as long as I had, so I knew her top side was up.
Right, but this should like lead to a potential gank top.
Which obviously there's no tower there. Their top laners in there, and ours just reset.
All right. More mid fights, ARAM and ARAM, nice.
And this is where the entire game got lost. I didn't realize my team had died so quickly, so when I went in, I basically just ended my lead.
Yeah.
Well, the rest of my lead.
Nectin's here, whole team is here, Aphelios is balanced, Yumi's balanced, and Dolph basically full, so. Yeah, I could see how this game was lost. Now they're ahead off this tower, because you can siege next tower too.
Basically, they just close it out from there. There's not even really anything to. Yeah.
Wow. You get the rift that you guys should have gotten. Yeah, I think it definitely the same thing as the other game we went over. You're prioritizing the wrong things at the wrong time, basically. But like your understanding of where to be is pretty good. I mean, you play like the best junglers to gank and such, so that's promising. But
well, if you don't mind, I mean, our hour. I don't want to cut you short or anything, but our hour is up. I don't want to waste your time with watching me end.
We can watch the rest of the game. It's all good.
Sure.
Is there anything worth watching this last team fight? Maybe so you can do anything better.
Sure.
All right.
It doesn't go better.
Yeah, that guy does not look killable. Yumi's just.
And admittedly, at this point, so there was two situations. Like the dragon that they get, which is like you can see it right after the last team fight before this one. The dragon that they get, I ran straight from like we were all pinging dragon like 30 seconds before that. So we were all trying to reset before then. I got there first and got caught. So that was completely on me. If we win that dragon fight, who knows? Maybe we can still win the game. But
oh, I can already tell why you get caught so often.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think you ever buy pink words at all. Let's see, am I right? 9 words. Wow.
Yeah.
0 pink horde jungler. I mean, neither Poppy didn't buy any. She's like a control tank, whatever. But REK'SAI with 0 pings. Even your ADC bought 2.
Yeah.
Aphelios bought 5. So let's see my games. I mean, typically I don't buy pinks if I'm that many if I'm playing carries, but I think I still buy a fair chunk, at least one every recall. Let me see this game. Playing Graves. Control words purchased 2. So I'm playing Graves. I'm a bit more, greedy. But if I'm playing something like this is Clash, we're gonna count that. I don't have any. Okay, we'll just look at the Clash. I don't have that many games right now in my match history. Oops. I definitely buy like at least 1 pink recall when I'm playing something like REK'SAI.
So I will say to not that because obviously I didn't buy any of those games, but if you look at the games that I've like I won like that aren't on REK'SAI, I do have at least 2 in almost all of them. So yeah, the games that we watched weren't obviously good examples of me buying wards, but the support in me definitely does want to buy wards.
I believe you. It's just that when you're like, look how easily getting ganks off, and I promise you, if you like use your red trinket more properly and drop your pink wards on one side of the map where like you can have an entrance most likely denied, then you'll even have a bigger or better impact in your ganks and counter ganks and such. So as far as that goes, I think we definitely found some stuff you can improve on, what to prioritize, when to prioritize, etc. So.
Perfect. Well, I really, really appreciate it, man. Thank you so much.
Yeah, I appreciate it too. Thank you so much as well for let me just did I add anything? But
I think you did the pushing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, for the most part, like I said, buy your pink wards when you're playing REK'SAI Elise. Great for tower dives or just denying vision for objectives. You're going for those objectives. You know when to go for Rift, you know when to go to Drake, right? You know what to prioritize. I already dropped you this. Baron's obviously first, but I mean, this is like for your early to mid game.
Right. Baron doesn't come into play till later, obviously. So.
Yeah, so those are probably top 2 things. Third is probably just pushing out lanes before fights, or when you're close to them, no one else is close. Remember, like when you're bot side doing Drake, and then you can check their bot side jungle while pushing bot. It's like you basically want to push bot, check their bot side jungle, get vision, push next wave bot, reset and or group with your team, and then like Yasuo goes bot and then tries to push or something, right?
Sure. What I'd like to do is I would like to obviously in the future purchase another session. I'd like to do it live. I think next time just so you can see how I play, how I click, see
Yeah.
if there's anything I can improve on there
Both
as well.
methods have like different pros and cons. I think for VOD reviews, obviously can't see your camera movement, but like for live reviews, it might be a bit harder to have someone breathe down your neck and like tell you what to do or like give you advice, because you won't always. Everyone has different opinions on what they should do and when they should do it. So it's nice to see your actual gameplay from a VOD review and see what you think is what you're doing is right or wrong, etc. So yeah, for sure. So I'll probably put this video on YouTube if you want to check it back out and see if you forgot anything. And
Yeah, no, I appreciate it, and I appreciate you taking the time, man. Thank you.
thank you, man. I appreciate it as well. So keep in touch. Let me know how your future games go, and I'll talk to you soon. All right.
All right, see you, man.
All right. Take care, man. See ya. All right. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed. And if you like the coaching videos, make sure to leave a thumbs up, because it doesn't seem like a lot of people enjoy it. I mean, it's basically just some of you guys can relate with the stuff people are doing wrong. Like this guy, his map awareness is pretty good, knowing where to be at the right time. He plays Lee Sin, so that's like one of your most important assets. But there's a lot of stuff like he did wrong in terms of like closing out games, getting pressure when he has the opportunity to do so. So hope it helps, and I'll see you guys soon. Peace.